There it is. There it is. Took a half a second longer than usual, but we are live. Welcome back, everybody. Thanks a lot for joining us yet again on another episode. Real special episode today. We've got an awesome guest lined up for you, so tune in to check him out.
The Carrier Experience Podcast is a show for anyone who wants to grow their agency and be a titan of the insurance industry. Learn from a panel of experts who share their agency struggles, their experiences with the nation's best carriers, and share the marketing secrets that successful insurance agents are using today. Now, here's your host, the insurance bro, James Cias.
All right. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. It's that time again. Before we jump into the show, a quick reminder to please subscribe on whichever platform you're listening to us on. Give us a like, give us a follow, give us a subscribe, and please drop a review. We'll sincerely appreciate it. It does help us get higher up in the search results so we can continue providing value to all of you insurance agents out there. So welcome back to the start of a brand new week right here on the Carrier Experience Podcast. We have an awesome show lined up for you all today. We're fortunate enough to be joined by a very special guest. Our guest today hails from the great state of Arizona, has a ton of experience, knowledge, and wisdom to share with us today. Having been in the industry for more than 15 years himself, he also comes from an insurance family and a family-owned agency where he specializes in personal lines. We're thrilled to have such a knowledgeable powerhouse on the show today. Joining us from Ideal Insurance Agency in Surprise and Glendale, Arizona, welcome to the show, Chris Mitchell! Bet you weren't expecting that applause, were you?
No, I was not. Thank you. I appreciate that. That's pretty funny. That's awesome.
Hey, man. Thanks so much for joining us.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
It's exciting. So you've been in the insurance space basically your entire life, it sounds like?
Yeah, I started back in high school, actually, believe it or not. Started doing the whole thing with filing papers before we had, PDF and all that stuff, being able to scan. Did that, answering phones, did just the basics of just customer service, and just did it while I was in high school. And then when I graduated, ended up moving out of Arizona for some time, just a short period of time, and then jumped back in the insurance industry. I never thought I was going to stick with it because I just thought I was like, how in the heck are my parents going on all these awesome trips? Because I was just getting a base salary and just I couldn't stand it. I was like, I didn't see the end in sight with as far as how I was going to get to that point, and then ended up getting my license shortly thereafter. And it's just been an amazing journey. Very, very blessed. Was able to break away from my family, got some experience with some other independent brokers, and then also with the captive world, and ended up coming back with my family, and been blessed with opportunity. What's that?
It's been quite a roller coaster for you. You've really seen, your family through a lot, the insurance industry through a lot. I kind of want to go back a little bit. I'm just curious. Back when you were in high school, you're talking about doing everything on paper. Were you using stuff like that wheel? I've seen this old wheel from the 70s about how to like figure out the rates and all these different things. Can you tell me a little bit about ancient insurance practices?
So thank God I didn't have to do that part.
Okay.
But my father had shared stories about how they had a phone system, and they had a 5-minute timer that they literally would set a timer, and they had 5 minutes to talk to their clients. And when that timer went off, then they had to jump off the phone. And then they would have to either tell the client they would call them back, or they would finish up with what they're doing. But they literally had 5-minute timers going for my dad, my uncle, and my grandpa.
What was the ideology behind that?
I don't know. They just had a system that to make sure that they all took care of their clients. They pounded the streets. They did it old school. They door knocked. They did everything that they could to get the business, which, it's kind of funny nowadays people are kind of gone back to doing that in a sense as
Mm-hmm,
far as
mm-hmm.
door knocking. It works. It hasn't stopped. And I think a lot of, when you do mortgage protection insurance, with the mailers and whatnot, people are still
Mm-hmm.
door knocking. Even with Medicare nowadays too, people are still doing that too, in a sense, to with what compliance allows. Yeah,
Yeah.
they went old school. But with my history, when I first started with them, that was just answering phones, data
Gotcha.
entry. I even went as far as to being the assistant account manager, or with commissions, dealing with accounts
Mm-hmm,
payable,
mm-hmm.
receivable. So I did a little bit of dabbled in the accounting part. And the biggest thing that I hated about being a salary or hourly person was, it was, no matter how hard I worked or how little you worked, you still got paid the same.
Right,
And
right, for sure.
what I love about what got me going to where I need to get my license is because I started looking at commissions. I'm like, because I was in charge of doing the commissions, and I was like seeing this, I was
That'll make
like,
the difference, right?
oh yeah, big time, absolutely. So with having those things crack me up. The ability to be able to do the commission side. I mean, obviously, you have some people that are like doing the hourly and they like that guaranteed salary with part.
Mm-hmm.
But I knew at that point I needed to get my licenses, and I went after it. Got my property and casualty license, and then I got into the life and health. And that
And so now
was
you do both?
yeah, absolutely. And as a matter of fact, I did Medicare back in 2017. I believe
Mm-hmm.
2017. So I'm in year three doing Medicare,
Nice.
and Medicare is a huge game changer for those insurance agents that are not doing it. I will just say that there's agencies like ours that are taking business away from those that are not adding that
Ooh.
service.
Ooh.
I'm just gonna say, I can't tell you how many times I've gone into a home to do Medicare, and by the time I'm done explaining Medicare, they're asking me, "Hey, what else can I do?" I literally had someone spending an extra $300-400 a year on their insurance because they liked me that much, because I had their Medicare. They paid extra
So I want to kind of go
because
back to that. You
go
started
for it.
talking about how when you first started with insurance, you kind of hated
Yep.
it. There was just so
Hmm.
much of it that just wasn't fun. And
Yep.
then something clicked, something changed, and your perspective on it changed. Can you tell me a little bit about what that was? And I know it wasn't just the commissions. Something
Yeah.
about the way that you approach insurance changed. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Absolutely. So being able to advise clients, um, I took the power of people telling me no away. It is more of an advisory role.
Mm-hmm.
I started going after and looking for the gaps. And whether I got that business or I told them, hey, stay with your current agent because you're in a good position, but tell your
Mm-hmm.
agent you need to increase your coverages to these limits. That I can't tell you how many times I've had people call me back saying, hey, my rates went up. I increased my coverage like you said, but now I'm paying even more than what you quoted. Let's go ahead and take a look at this. Being able to help
Nice.
clients is something I enjoy doing. I love doing it. Whether it's me telling, hey, you're in a good spot, stay with where you're at, but do you know someone else that I could help or could benefit from the same services that I've just given you? And
I
I've
love
gotten
that.
referrals.
Yeah, that's
So,
that's so close to the exact referral script that I use as well, that I
yep.
teach my agents. It's, I hope that
Uh-huh.
you gained a lot of knowledge and education from
Hmm.
this time that we've spent together. Is there anybody else that you know
Yes.
that can benefit from this level of care? So that's
Correct.
awesome. So
Yeah.
you approach insurance from a position of being an advisor, being someone
Hmm.
who's there to help someone. How has that changed for you personally? Like taking that approach for you and your job satisfaction, what has
Hmm.
that done for you?
Well, obviously it's increased, the revenue, but
Mm-hmm.
more so what I gain the satisfaction of being able to, uh, for clients, seeing a smile on clients' face,
Mm-hmm.
or because believe it, actually with our office we actually get a lot of walk-ins. And it's great. A lot of insurance companies nowadays have basically kind of pushed their clients to the side, if you will, and they don't welcome the walk-ins
Hmm.
because they
Well,
want it to
especially now
be
during
just
COVID, right?
well, even believe it or not, I actually have clients that I help the clients with a couple clients with their Medicare, and they're in their 80s, and they said, "Are you sick?" No. Well, get over to my house. I don't care. You don't need to bring a mask. So it's actually it's awesome. We also do life insurance. We do long term, short term care, and all that. And we have a group that we do all of our life with, and a lot of their advisors have stopped production, and it's because they've been set up to only do in person. They haven't been set up to really do the over the phone type stuff. I've been
Hmm.
blessed with being able to do Medicare sales over the phone in a call center. I've worked in a couple call center situations, and it's helped. So just being able to go with the flow of things. I mean, who knows? We never expected this to happen in 2020. We just
Right,
didn't.
right.
Um, but we still have
I heard a great joke. I heard a great joke the other day. It's God and the angel Michael are having a
yep.
conversation, right? Did you see this one?
Hmm. No, I have not.
No,
No,
okay,
but
okay. So God
I'm a
and
believer though.
God and the angel Michael, they're having this conversation, and God is asking the angel about all of the different things that are supposed to be happening in the
Hmm.
2020s. And Michael looks at God and says, "Wait, did you say 2020s?" He said, "Yeah, like as in the whole decade." He said, "Oh shoot, I scheduled them all for 2020."
Yep.
Oops.
That's good.
All
That's
right,
awesome.
let's really quickly. I'm going to jump into a new
Yeah.
segment here. Check this out. All right, biggest agency struggles. Now there are a bunch of different things that we're
Hmm.
always contending with, whether it's
Yep.
trying to figure out what claims can get handled, customer service, especially right now throughout COVID.
Yep.
I don't know if your office situation has changed. What are some major struggles that's going on in your agency, and what are some things that you're doing to overcome those struggles right now?
Um, I think your typical one is just a lot of people are freaked out right now.
Hmm.
I think people are scared and they're nervous, as they rightfully so. Um, More of our clients are 65 and older, because of the situation where the demographics that we service here. Now, I'm trying to get our agent. We've got mortgage contacts and whatnot, but I would say um, it's really typically. I don't think anything has changed other than people are just freaked out about their health.
Hmm.
You still get the customer service calls. You still get the claims. People are still experiencing all these things. Um, the other thing too is, people are seeking out. Well, I guess the biggest thing is the other people that have had jobs or have lost jobs, and people are starting to shop their insurance a
Yeah.
lot more frequently than they have in the past because I know Geico has done a tremendous job as far as and offering credits, and they reduce the rates. But
Hmm.
I also advise clients. They said, look, because my experience with Geico in the past has been they're a great company. I'm not knocking them at all.
Hmm.
Um, but one of the things is when they try to save a client, they reduce the rate, and then in 6 months they jack it right back up plus more. And so what I tell clients is, look, it might be like the apple in the middle of the garden, right? Bring it up, Adam and Eve. That apple might look really really good, but in 6 months, and this is where these captive agencies get their clients, is that 6 month deal is you got two rate renewals, or you got two renewals per year as opposed to one with a 12-month policy. So I just tell them, I said, just be on the lookout when you get your next renewal. Don't be surprised if you get that rate, your rates get jacked right back up, because now they're going to want their money back.
Hmm.
It's kind of like
And then some, yeah.
you're borrowing money essentially. So I think it's just, we're getting shot more frequently And it's just it's sad to see a lot of people lose their jobs. I think that's the biggest
For
thing that
sure.
we've seen is people losing their jobs, and it truly is sad.
Oh, I love this. We're going to throw this one on real quick.
Okay.
All right, so this is great. We've got a question from the audience here. Any advice for a basic onboarding flow for a PNC and health agency?
That's a good question, because onboarding is, I would say, that's a make or break for an agency. Because if you don't have your ducks in a row, being able to contract and so forth, I mean, you could really, there's the whole thing of if you stop calling and you don't plan ahead, you could actually set yourself back 1 or 2 or 3 months as far as receiving commissions and getting paid. Same thing I would say applies to onboarding. We have a company that handles all of our life contracts, and they have a great staff that we can rely on. The Medicare side and the health insurance side, we've got a separate division that handles all of those contracts. The reason why we kind of broker it out and we go direct appointments with those types of companies as opposed to doing everything ourselves is I would rather have someone else that's paying a staff as opposed to me paying a staff to do the onboarding.
Mm-hmm.
So finding those relationships are key as far as onboarding. But as far as the PNC side, having your contracts and so forth, obviously you have a lot of aggregators out there. Finding a good aggregator is hard to come by nowadays, I would say. But it's just picking every place that you choose to do your Medicare business or the PNC business is going to come with the pluses and the negatives. It's just, there's no way around it, but it's one of those things as far as being able to find the right fit. But the Medicare, we use Apply General Agency. They've been amazing. With their Medicare onboarding agency management system, agency management systems make or break. EasyLinks has grown over the years. They're amazing. They have their like AMS 360 and Peoria. I can't stand it. I don't like them. EasyLinks is perfect. They have their direct mail campaigns, their drip mail email campaigns.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So agency management system, having that in place, having the right contracts for your employees, making sure that they're being taken care of financially too. Can't tell you how many times I've come across an organization to where they're taking more, or they're basically getting paid the same amount as what you're getting paid, and you're doing all the work. It doesn't work that way.
Right.
I like to give more commissions where I might be getting 5 or 10%, a little override, but some individuals are cutting at 50-50, and it's just like, you can't do that. It doesn't incentivize anyone to want to work.
Yeah, no, I mean, I've seen a lot of contracts out there. Thank you, by the way, Kinson, for your question. Really appreciate you.
Hopefully that answers this question.
I hope so. Kinson, if that does not answer your question, please leave a comment and we'll dig deeper into it. But no, I 100% agree, paying your team, whether it's an employee or a salesperson or claims rep or whatever it is, whoever it is that's on your team, like making sure that they're well taken care of is going to take your business in such a positive, huge direction. Pay people what they're worth, perfect, or more even. Man, it's been so cool just learning from you. Learning from you already. I lost my train of thought for a second there. I hate it when I do that. You would think that running a podcast here that I would have my ducks in a row. But man, sometimes I'm just like, where was I going with that? But your agency, the way that you guys have structured everything, what you're telling me, it
Mhm.
sounds really cool. It sounds like you guys really know what you're doing. Tell me a little bit about where you guys came from. I know that it was a family business. You
Yeah.
guys had some really old school stuff. Are you still sticking to that old school mentality? Are you still door knocking?
No, actually, that whole old school mentality, even though it's good and stuff, and you can do it, I don't. A lot of the referrals that I'm getting are directly from mortgage companies,
Mm-hmm.
and as I had said before, I'm going to share this, but I've got a program, and insurance agents will love this program. I don't care if you're a captive or you're a broker, but I have a program that literally allows me to when I get a referral from a mortgage broker, I can if the when I after I get done speaking with the client, a lot of times when we speak to a client, we ask them what their general liability coverages are, and they have no idea what we're talking about.
Right.
I've got full coverage, and then they don't understand what
Sure.
full coverage means, you know. But I've got a program as long as they have their username, password for an online account, or they don't, we can help them set up an account. But I can gain access to any insurance company, so I can actually look at their coverages in live
Right.
time, what they currently have. So this program, loan officers love it. And when I go in and I speak to a loan officer and say, "Hey, I can not only help you close business on the by giving your client a good home quote because we're a brokerage, but when you do a refi and you're asking for evidence of insurance request, which they have to have in order to
Mm-hmm.
process a loan, I can make it so you can get it that same day because it takes. I've talked to the VP of Caliber Home Loans, which is the
Mm-hmm.
second largest mortgage company in the United States. This program, we did a demo and he goes, "I love this thing. Let's test it out." Because refis can take up to 10 additional business days just by getting the evidence of insurance request. I can get it within a minute after speaking with a client. And if they don't have an online account, we can set them up with one because we all know that we're supposed to be carrying our auto ID card in our vehicle. And
Right.
so by getting that policy number, their first name, last name, date of birth, last four of their social, I can get their deck pages of their auto, get the policy number for their home. They relog in and then they can look at their home policy. And then that loan officer has that deck page and they can process that
Wow.
refi. So it's, loan officers, when I tell them, "Hey, I can get you paid faster on the refi," they want to know how in the heck can you do it? Well, this is the one way we do it, and it's that
So
program that we have.
is this program like a trade secret? Is this a ideal insurance agency secret?
I will share this program with you guys. What I tell people is, look, we'll let you have access to this program. And I've talked to other insurance agencies and they take it, but if they're not doing Medicare, I tell them, "Hey, look, agencies like myself are taking business away from you. I can either show you how to get contracted and I'll make sure you guys get taken care of as far as the certifications go and the training, or I can be your referral source, but I can let you have access to the program." And so then it turns it around and I'm getting referrals from the Medicare from these insurance agents.
Nice.
We just say we won't poach your client.
Right.
But a lot of times these agencies are like, well, because Medicare, depending on the state that you live in, it can pay $530 for someone that's brand new to Medicare,
Mm-hmm.
or it's $266 for residual for renewals.
Right. Uh-huh.
So Medicare is in its lifetime residual income. As long as that client's living on the Medicare Advantage, why wouldn't you not want to do it? Well, you have to get certified every year, Chris. Well, it doesn't to there's people that are making 500,000, 750,000, or $1 million a year because they've been doing the Medicare
Mm-hmm.
business
For
for
that
so
long.
long. Like Health Plan One Medicare Solutions, their net profit is $15 million a year. And that was back when I first started doing
We'll
Medicare.
take that.
Right. So I'm just saying like the Medicare piece is such a valuable add-on and it's easier than you think it is. It's a pain in the rear the first part, getting contracted and doing the certifications. But if you've got the right outfit, just like the question with Kenton had asked, the onboarding, having the right outfit and setup to make sure the onboarding is important, being able to get contracted, but it's also the certification, the training, making sure
Right.
that you're successful. A lot of people don't understand that if you get a complaint filed against you and you have done a senior wrong, not only could you lose your licenses for your career, but you could also lose your driver's license. So,
Your driver's
you know,
license even.
yes, your driver's
Wow.
license. Yep. Yep. So
That was
it's
I'm sorry to interrupt you. Really quick.
no, you're fine.
That was I know that you can't see it, but you know that meme where you got those guys carrying the coffin?
Mm-hmm.
That's what
Yep.
that was.
Yeah, no, I got that. So, but Kinson just asked, my question was answered, but how does the flow look like once you have a lead that
Oh,
that
see,
you
I thought you
convert
couldn't
to
see
the
the
client?
screen.
Well, I
But
can see
yeah.
it.
Yeah, so he had that follow-up question. What does the flow look like once you have a lead that you convert to a client?
So because I'm the main person that does the Medicare, if we have um, how does a lead? So I take care because I'm certified to do Medicare, and I also do auto and home. I take the client from A to Z. Um, so with Medicare and Kinson, you're more than welcome to reach out, and I can explain more. Because Medicare, there's compliance that you have to follow with. You can't sell a Medicare plan with something else. You can't cross that at the same time. So there's some things you
Oh.
got to learn about, understand.
So
And then also,
you basically got to finish the Medicare first and then follow up with a separate appointment to talk to them about all the PNC stuff.
so when I get a client, when a loan officer contacts me and says, "Hey, I'm referring this client to you," I take care of their home policy first, but I also let them know, "Hey, I'm going to be calling you back because we're gonna address your Medicare needs. We're going to talk about your Medicare supplemental plan." So Medicare, you can't poach for Medicare Advantage, but you can use the words Medicare supplement plan, and you can then lead into as far as asking them what type of plan that they have, and then you can go into those other conversations. But then that leads to having to fill out a scope of appointment and so forth. But I mean, I could do another segment on Medicare if you would like to, but I handle whether it's a life deal, auto and home deal. Some agencies, they have, again, it's based on their preferences. They have different departments.
Mm-hmm.
I personally don't like passing clients on to other people after I just built rapport with them, because I've gained their trust. They like me. Now I don't want to have someone else talking to them. And it's just like, to me, it's just that client's going to have that same conversation with that new agent or that person in the other field or the
For
other,
sure.
part of the office. So I like to take care of it myself.
I love that. Well, we're coming up on time here. So what I want to do is give you an opportunity to tell us, first of all, where we can find out more information about you. And for anybody out there who's listening in the audience who wants your secret sauce, that program that you were talking about, how can they get in touch with you to get all that?
I'll go ahead and just leave my email if you want to, or I can give you my number out if you want.
Sure. Do you want to drop it live for the listening audience as well?
Yeah, absolutely. So my cell phone number, you can reach me directly. You can text me too. I would prefer just giving me a text just to let me know before just, blowing up my phone. It's 623-308-7200. Or you can also email me at Chris, CHRIS, at ideal, IDEALINS, obviously abbreviated for insurance.com. Again, that's Chris at idealins.com.
Perfect. And you can also find him at Christopher Mitchell on LinkedIn.
Yes.
And man, Chris, it's been such a pleasure chatting with you. I've learned
Likewise.
A ton. Really looking forward to chatting with you about this special secret sauce program. I love your ideas around building your agency with mortgage lenders as your referral partners. We teach a lot of that as well. Having these strategic partnerships in place. And let's be honest, homeowners is like the best insurance when it comes on the PNC side because it stays there forever. People don't change their homeowners insurance until they refinance or sell. So
correct.
Very cool stuff. thank you again so much for joining us on the show.
Yep.
That's all we've got today, ladies and gentlemen. Before we head out, again, one final reminder, please drop us a like, give us a follow, subscribe, leave us a review so that we can show up higher on those search results, so that more insurance agents looking for value and education can continue to find us. For everybody who's listening, who's tuning in, who's watching, thank every single one of you. You all rock my socks. You have my heart. In the words of the great Mick Foley.
Have a nice day.
Have a nice day.
Thank you for tuning in to the Carrier Experience Podcast. James is the CEO of the Pipeline team of San Diego and is always in the market for top talent. If you are an agent looking for a place to hang your license, visit pipelineinsurance.com/agent opportunities or send an email to newagent@pipelineinsurance.com. You can find James on all social media at Insurance Broham.